Hello students, in previous video we have learned about pre-ambulatory stages. In this video we are going to learn about stage 4, which is ambulatory phase, toddler to preschool, right? So in pre-ambulatory phase we prepare child for the ambulation. Now in this stage we teach them how to ambulate. Now what are the goals for this stage? So first is begin ambulation. Now promote efficient and independent mobility. Okay. Then so with the minimal bracing and optimal joint integrity, so that with the minimal tightness or the contracture and child can ambulate independently. Okay. Now lastly confirm the functional motor level. These are the goals. Now next is balance training in the sitting. So previously we taught child to sit independently, right? Which is static on static balance. Then we taught them dynamic balance, which is dynamic on static. So child is seated on static surface and move in the sitting, like reach outs or other activities in sitting. Now in this stage we have to increase the difficulty. Okay, so we are going to dynamic on static first. So in which sitting on the ball, tilt board or the trampoline. Okay, so when the surface is moving or unstable and child have to balance it. So this is the increased difficulty level, and we can also work on the strengthening of trunk musculature. So in the first photograph is the static on dynamic balance. Child is seated on the inflatable disc, okay, and try to balance in this position, right? In the second photograph, child is seated on the inflatable disc and doing the activity, right? So moving forward and doing the activity, it is dynamic on dynamic, okay. But here this is not the correct position. You have to make child sit in the correct position. Now in this slide, child is seated on the wall. In first photograph, child is not moving, only so it is dynamic on static, okay, and this is also dynamic on static. But if we have to use activities dynamic on dynamic, we can add reach outs, okay, for the dynamic on dynamic activity. In this slide, this is child is seated on the tilt board and on the trampoline. So you can use any equipment according to child's need and the availability for the sitting balance. And strengthening of available musculature and weak and paralyzed muscle, such as especially gluteus maximus, medius and quadriceps. So strengthening is essential component for the physiotherapy treatment, right? And we use it from the beginning of the treatment and throughout the lifetime or throughout the course of physiotherapy treatment. Okay, so here are few activities for the strengthening these muscles. So prone on the ball and picking up the toy, or prone on the scooter board and moving around, right? So in this first photograph, child is in prone position with the bolster at the chest level, okay, and child is trying to grab the ball. So this position enhance or strengthen the gluteus maximus and trunk extensors muscles. Okay, so you can also use this activity during early phase as well. Okay, now in this photograph, child is prone on the ball, okay, and trying to reach the targets. Okay, but child gain proper strength for this position. Okay, so you can give target at the higher level, so it will further increase the extensor range and strength as well. This is the scooter board. Okay, so we can use various activity on board for the SI sensor integration. Okay, but here we are going to talk about strengthening. Okay, so in first, child is prone on the scooter board. Okay, and using upper limb and lower limb try to move around, so it will activate the extensor muscles. Okay, and increase their strength, right? In second photograph, child is prone on board and pulling the rope. Okay, so it will increase upper limb strength as well as extensors muscle, right? And in the last photograph, child is prone on board and doing the cognitive task. Okay, so child is doing cognitive tasks. You can change the task according to child's level of cognition, right? And so therefore, by doing these activity, all these activity, we can strengthen the muscle of lower limb, upper limb, and trunk. Apart from this, we can also give sensory integration and improve the hand-eye coordination as well. Now next is endurance. So in this phase, child goes to school. Okay, so they need more endurance for their daily routine. Okay, so our goal is to increase the physical activity. Okay, and nutritional education program. Now. Mostly child with spina bifida have sound upper limb. Okay, so they have no problem with upper limb. Okay, so we can train it for the functional independence of the child. So we can use upper extremity resistance training or the aerobic activity. So you can use any uh, protocol for the upper limb axis strengthening, or for the aerobic activity you can use swimming or arm cycling. So this is the upper extremity ergometer. Okay, cycle ergometer. Now to improve the muscle strength and gain, we can use hippotherapy. Okay, so first of all, what is hippotherapy? So hippotherapy is the treatment with the help of horse. So by riding on horse for the therapeutic purpose. Okay, so by this method we can improve muscle tone, strength, coordination, posture, balance, and mobility. Okay, now next is aquatic therapy. So now we will discuss few activities in pool to strengthening of the upper limb, lower limb, and trunk. So generally, aquatic exercise is done in the indoor pool with the thermoregulatory control. Okay. So you have learned basic principle of the aquatic therapy in the second year, right? So I am not going in detail of it, but So in the first slide, first activity is movement of legs in all the direction, all planes with the combination of pattern of the movement, passive, active, active assisted, resistive, range of motion depending on the need. So you have to position the child according to whether you want assistance or resistance from the water and do all the activities. Now next is use of flotation device in deep water with legs in the water and kicking in place against the water's resistance. So while child is in the water and kicking by their leg, it will help to strengthen their lower limb muscle. Okay, so because water is giving resistance while they are kicking. Okay. Now third is pushing off from side of the pool or therapist hands while prone or supine on the water surface. So which will help to strengthen their lower limb muscles. So they require the extension for the push-ups. Thus it will help to strengthen the extension musculature and also child can enjoy the sudden propulsion through the water. Now next, swimming laps with only leg motion while holding the kickboard or in the inner tube if necessary. In the swimming pool, there is lane. Person who swim from one point to opposite side and come back to the starting point, it is called lap. For our patient, we can use kickboard or doodle so they can swim easily, right? By this activity, we can strengthen their upper limb, lower limb, trunk and increase their aerobic capacity as well. Now, fifth, resistive swimming with the therapist holding legs and preventing the forward movement in the prone position or supine position. So here therapist hold the legs of the child, okay, while child is trying to swim. So what happens? Child have to swim against the resistance. Therefore, it will increase their strength. Next is lap swims using the wave glove. So these are the wave glove which are basically used for aqua aerobics to increase the resistance of lower limb. So for the added propulsion or resistance and variety of stroke to address the all muscle of the shoulder. So while doing this activity, if legs are dragging in water, you can use floating cuffs to provide the extension to the legs. So flotation cuff, these are the flotation cuffs, can be used around the ankle if necessary to prevent the legs from the dragging on pool floor and provide the extension if active gluteus musculature is not present. Now, supine with floating ring, lifting the legs out of the water and twisting them side to side for work on all abdominals. So, child is in supine position. Okay, either therapist help to maintain the position or using the floating ring. Okay, now child have to lift their legs out, both legs out, then twist them side to side. So with what happen, the abdominals will work. Okay, so by this method you can enhance the abdominal strength. Now once the child develops proper strength and ability, you can start various water sports. Okay, so such as basketball or for the therapeutic and recreational purpose. So ball toss and catch, basketball or volleyball in the various water depth depending on the child's ages and abilities. Now next is range of motion. So throughout the physiotherapy management, range of motion exercise plays crucial role, right? So you can increase range of motion by holding in hand range for the 30 to 40 seconds. Also, passive range of motion and positioning should practice to prevent the contraction. Pre-ambulatory exercise. In standing position, encourage the child to shift weight to one side. So another leg will be non-weight bearing, right? When child is mastering these activity, you can add next step. After weight shift, move non-weight bearing foot forward with the trunk rotation. Okay. So this activity is called as pivoting forward. You can do same procedure on the opposite side. So this activity will prepare the child for the ambulation. Next is gait training. There are various methods for gait training. You can use according to child's capacity. So treadmill, body weight support training program, pivoting gait training program with parapodium, swing to swing throw gait. Then by using the appropriate orthosis or assistive devices, right? So first is weight support training on the treadmill. So initially when child does not develop the walking pattern, so we can use this technique. So this is body weight support system. Okay, and initially you have to assist the child for initiating the steps. Okay. Now next is weight support training on the floor. So this is the similar to the previous training, except in this method we do activity on the floor, not using the treadmill. Next is pivoting training, gait training with the parapodium. So this is parapodium. Okay. We use it for the standing activity, then dynamic balance in the standing. Now we can practice pivoting forward with this device. Okay, so which we learned in the previous slides. So these are the rollators, or you can see walker. We can prescribe according to child's level of injury. So when child do not require walker, but they still need some sort of support for the walking, so we can use crutches with appropriate orthosis. So for crutches, initially we can teach swing to or swing through gait. So what is it? You learn this in the first year. So what happened? First child bring both crutches forward, okay, and then swing through the crutches and bring both legs forward, right? Then you can progress to the 3-point gait also. Okay, so this is walking with crutches. Next is bladder training. So generally, child with spina bifida have neurogenic bladder, either reflexive or areflexive according to their level of injury. So we can use intermittent catheterization for this child. So initially it will be done by the nursing staff, then we can taught it to parents, but after the age of 3 years we can teach to the child, right? initially teach them to practice on the doll, right? So initially they have to practice on doll, so they can learn by practicing it. Okay. Also, you have to help them to understand their genitals by using the mirror. Okay. And teach them how to identify whether their bladder is full or not. Okay. Then teach them when bladder is full, they can first use Crates manure or Valsalva manure for the voiding. Okay, after trying several times by these method, voluntary method, they can use catheter to void the urine. So this is catheter used for the intermittent catheterization. Okay, so they can insert catheter in this way, but this is the foilless catheter. This is not intermittent catheter. This is not used for the intermittent catheterization. Now next is ring bearing catheter. So if there is lack of facility or for the intermittent catheterization or child's bladder function is deteriorating, so we can use intermittent catheterization. Okay. You have seen patient with indwelling catheterization in the wards like this. Okay. This is foilless catheter. Okay. So catheter is inserted into the urethra. Okay, up to the bladder, right? So and this is the urine bag. Okay, which collect the urines. And now there are some simple kind of urine bag, and this is the advanced in which we can calculate the amount of urine. So in this method you have to just empty the urine bag. Okay, patient do not have to do anything for the urination or voiding the urine, right? We can use this catheter up to the 30 days. Okay, there are some disadvantages of this catheter. We will discuss this topic bladder management after the completing spina bifida. Okay, so we will learn detail about the catheters and intermittent catheterization. Okay. Now next is bowel training. Bowel management majorly depend on the diet. So child need to follow the proper diet, which includes the high amount of dietary fiber, right? So next is evacuation time. So you have to fix time for the evacuation to prevent the bowel distension, right? Now defecation is difficult for the child, so you can use stool softener or suppositors, right? But always avoid the laxative and enema. Next is toilet training. So schedule defecation in time with the stool stimulation. So such as giving the massage to abdomen or the digital stimulation. You can always schedule the toilet training. Then if child is having constipation, you need to focus on habit training and increase the fiber supplement. We are complete with stage 4 physiotherapy management of spina bifida. In next video we will learn about stage 5 and stage 6 together.